and hopefully live. Don't know whether I am. I don't know whether it's working. I don't know whether I've got any audio. Don't know anything really. If somebody could maybe let me know, that would be helpful. If anybody ever turns up. Just decided I'm sat here. I might as well put it on. Home Alone. Well, apart from the dog. So if anybody can actually hear me, let me know. Oh, I'm there. Oh, TikTok adverts. Oh, we don't like them. How's he putting TikTok adverts on before me? Just going to see. Fantastic. I hear you. Marvellous. Wonderful, super. Well, that was quick. Really quick. Good day to you, my friend. Fantastic to have you on. Just sat in the complete mess that is my makerspace this Sunday late lunchtime, and I was just fiddling about with a new machine I've got over there, and I thought, do you know what? I might as well just bang a stream on and see if anybody wants to pop in and say hello. Been doing a bit of filming to excuse me, to do a video on this new printer. Well, new to me. Lots of people have had this printer already. Lots of people have done reviews on it already. But I got it in towards the end of this week. And really like it. Really like playing with it. It's running in the background as we speak. Oh, there we go. Bit of an X2 going on there. So yeah, I've got that just printing one of the things that comes on the USB drive. No idea what it is, but I just thought, let's let it print and see what it does. So yeah, that's running away in the background. Yeah, bit of an X2. I would love a Focus. Apparently, it's pronounced Focus. This is what I'm reliably informed. It's pronounced Focus, but it looks like Focus to me, which could be deemed to be a little bit different. But yeah, I've done a bit of a video on just basically putting it together, a quick sort of view around it, a quick look inside it. But not a lot more than that, really. I'm just, like I say, I'm going to print some stuff on it now and hammer some stuff through it over the next sort of couple of weeks or so, and then we'll see what we think. My 18-year-old daughter is going to a Halloween party, and she wants me to print her a mask that she's found online. So I'm going to use the X2 to print that, and then the wife's going to paint it, and then so that's going to be a good test for it to see how it is. That's going on away in the background. Started to try and think of some content and some stuff I can do, and I was talking to one of my friends the other day on Facebook while watching another stream, and what you might not know is I have a little motorhome stroke camper van thing that I go away in weekends, just so I'm away from, because I live at work. I like to go away at the weekends to get away from work and just chill wherever I happen to go. Maybe go to a pub for a meal, come back, sit and watch some telly or some YouTube, and just chill out, not surrounded by customers, which is, the downside to the job. And I started thinking, do you know what I could do with maybe because most of the time I go away on my own. The wife stays at home because it doesn't bother her as much, but it really gets to me. So I most of the time go away on my own at least one of the nights. And I actually thought to myself, do you know what? It'd be quite nice if I could take a printer with me and, have that ability to do a little bit of 3D printing, while I'm away somewhere, just faffing about doing bits and pieces. I've printed some little bits and pieces for the van while I've been here, a couple of cup holders, and I've designed a little spout thing, which I might show you one day. But so what I want to do is I want to come up with a printer that can run directly off the 12 volt from the motorhome, because I generally go off grid. I don't go to caravan parks. So I'm off grid. So I'm relying on my 100 and 70 amp hour battery, which is charged by a solar panel or from the mains when I'm at home, charges it up, or while I'm driving, it recharges as well. So I thought, let's come for something that's 12 volt that I can pull straight out of maybe one of the cigarette lighters in the back of the caravan, because they run about 180 amps, I think, something like that. So this is one of the things I've got going on in my head. I want to sort of come up with a printer that I can use while I'm away, just to print some knickknacks or bits and pieces, or just have a faff about with. And if I get somewhere, because I do have a internet in the little camper van as well. I've got it's a router, but it's also, you put a SIM card in the back of it, and I've got an aerial on the roof, so I can pull in mobile data at 4G, and then I can stream using it if I get into a good spot. So I could actually stream while I'm away somewhere with this little 12 volt printer. So I was thinking, going along the sort of the size and scale of a Prusa Mini, mainly because they don't take up a lot of room, and I could get one that either had a 12 volt bed, or I could get one that had just an unheated bed and just print in PLA. Having watched Nerys and how he talks about stuff like that, what you can actually do is, I think he used to do it with his Ender 2s. You used to be able to have the heated bed on to get the first 2 or 3 layers down, and then once that was stuck, you could actually turn the heated bed off, so you're not using massive amounts of power. Once it's actually, set on its way, done 3 or 4 layers, turn the heated bed off, it will stay stuck, and you can get the rest of your print done. So something like that. So that's something I've kind of got going on in the back of my head. So there's that coming up. There is, like I say, there's the X2 that I'm having a mess about with. But the Focus, the folding Focus, I'm quite interested in that. I don't quite know how I'd get hold of one of those. But again, that would be quite good because it would fold flat. So I could fold it for storage in the motorhome when I'm not using it, because I don't really want to have to take things in and out all the time. I want to sort of it'll be in there, and then I can just take it out of the cupboard that it's in, stick it on the table, and print away. So I'm trying to find a machine. It's going to have to be cheap, because it's going to have to be cheap. So I was kind of looking for something that maybe had an external power brick, because if they've got external power bricks, it's just a barrel connector into the back of the printer, so I can splice that into a cigarette lighter fitting and just plug it into the little camper van strokey motorhome thing, and away we go. And that's like I say, there's getting this reviewed and sorted, giving some feedback to artillery. It's taken a long time coming, but it's here, and it's nice, and it's really, really simple to put together. Basically, it comes in 2 parts. You've got the gantry and then the base. There is 1, 2, 3 plugs to put in, and 4 bolts, which come up from the bottom, as they generally do, but they've actually got them so they sit in there now, so you don't have to try and hold the bolt on the end of an Allen key and push it up through the bottom of the base. They're actually sort of counter set into the base, so it's just slot in, wind up, 3 plugs in, power on, away you go. So that's really good. Andrew, hello. How are you doing, mate? I was going to show you something, Andrew, just while I've got you here. I don't know whether the cable's long enough. I've got it on extra short cable. Hello. So there, mate. Look, it's got some dirt on it. Oh. Let me move the camera. That would be the best idea, wouldn't it? And it's backwards. Sorry about that. That's a bit of my stupidity. I wonder if I can flip the camera around. Am I capable of doing that with my really small amount of intelligence? Let's see if I can flip the camera. It's amazing, Joe. Thank you so much. It's a cracking thing. Absolute cracking thing. It's always on. Never gets turned off. What am I doing here? I've got to be able to flip it, surely. This might just disappear for a while now because I'm messing about with it. What's that? Text overlay, watermark. Don't want any of that. Filters, borders, transitions. I just want to be able to flip it. How do you flip it? Field of view, zoom, autofocus, image stabilization, image settings, chroma key. You ready? Whoop. Hey, now then. Now I'm not in OBS. I couldn't even be bothered to turn OBS on. Is that now right? I can't tell whether that's right or not. Yay, that's right to you, isn't it? Excellent. Yeah, no, I couldn't even bother to turn OBS on. I've literally stuck the Logitech Bureau in, pulled up the Logitech firmware. There's a little ring light around the outside of that. And then I've just got my mic sat here with voice meter running just to boost that a bit. And that's all I've done. Just plug straight into the computer. So we're running one camera, one mic, one me. No fancy fades or anything. Not doing any of that malarkey today. It's wrong to us, but right to you. But I'm looking at my screen that's there. I'm actually watching the feed. And on the feed, that's the right way around. That is definitely the right way around. Is that the wrong way around to you now? Please, somebody tell me that's the right way around. I am looking at the feed. And that is the right way around. I think you're trying to wind me up now. Oh, pretty colours. Let me just turn that off. You can see it doing its thing now. So that's actually wrong. I don't believe you. I think you're winding me up. I'm going to look on my phone. I'm going to be really annoyed, aren't I? I know I'm going to be really annoyed. Oh, blooming adverts. Who put these adverts on? It is backwards. I don't believe it. All right. I believe you. Hang on. Right, that's now right for you, isn't it? I can see that because I can see it on there now. You see, I've got it on there. No, I haven't got very much delay either. You know, it's quite interesting that actually working without running Streamlabs or anything else, the latency is absolute minimum. Absolute minimum. Yeah, I know you have, fella. I heard it ping. But yeah, that. Do we like that? There's a very clever bloke that designed that. Very clever bloke who designed that. Doesn't show up quite as well on here though, because it just sort of whites out a bit, but it's really good. Just hangs on my wall up there next to my monitor. 24/7, that's going. So yeah, Andrew, I was just reiterating what I was saying yesterday about oh, that's bright. Wanting to do a little 12-volty thing. Oh, now what do I look better as? That colour, that puts more colour in my cheeks, doesn't it? This is, I should show you this little light. It's actually made for women YouTubers who do makeup. So it's got different shades of white, which are supposed to make my face. See, that makes my face look tanned, you see, even though I'm not actually tanned in any way, shape, or form. But that makes my face look tanned. Right, I'm going to shut the door because there's that backlight coming in. Dog, are you going in or going out? You staying with me? Dog down here. Let's see if we can see her. There she is, look. Red. There she is. She comes and sits with me when there's nobody else here because she gets bored. I might just send her back into the house. I'm shutting the door, baby. You coming in or coming out? Go on then. Off you go. Go on the back. No moaning. No. She gives me that look. What do you mean you're leaving me? There we go. I'm a bit blown out now, aren't I? Any Rhoda. I've got a thumbs up already. Excellent, eh? Those of you who haven't hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. Those of you who haven't subscribed, how the hell have you found me? And don't forget to always leave a comment because that really helps the channel. Apparently, what channel? My viewers have been going like that because I've done so much recently. The video I've been doing on the X2, I have been using a purchase I got a little while ago. It's a little Osmo Pocket 2, which means I can actually film in 4K. And it's quite nice to hold in your hand and sort of move about and stuff. And it actually works quite well. Yeah, the Halo makeup light, that's what it is. Yes, mate. But it's just, it just means I can look more beautiful. Allegedly. You see, it goes through all those lovely shades, gets rid of all that. But then, of course, the camera is then compensating for it. So it's not actually making that much difference. Hey-ho. Yes, I've got the little the Osmo Pocket 2, which I've been using for doing my filming with. Good afternoon, Dan. I don't know when it's afternoon where you are. Actually, it's probably morning where you are still, Dan, isn't it, in fairness? In fact, it's probably quite early morning. Dan hasn't printed his yet. Has Dan got one as well, has he? Dan, I'll have to show you, mate. There you go, fella. I'll turn my light off again. How do I turn my light off? That one, innit? There we go. Get it printed, Dan. Get it printed. You too can have something that looks as cool as that. See? So, yeah, really, apart from the trolling over the internet trying to find this printer to go in the motorhome and playing about with the X2, I really haven't got a lot on at the moment. But I just thought, was sat here, was fannying about, thought, waiting for this print to finish, because that one I did, started it the other day, Andrew. I got a bit bored of it. So, and then I decided I was going to go out in the motorhome, so I pulled the plug on it because I didn't want to leave it for 24 hours. Just sat ticking over. So I pulled the plug on it and I've started again. Excuse me. So yeah, it's pretty much where I'm at the moment. The makerspace is full. I tried to power on my Ender 5 yesterday, day before, because I was just moving things around on the shelves. And it looks like the motherboard's blown. Powering up and getting absolutely nothing from it at all. So that's something else I've got to find. I've got to find a replacement for that. So I'm going to start looking to cheaper replacement motherboards for the Ender 5. So that's sat over there gathering dust. The Prusa Bear. Now, the Prusa Bear has got a somewhat different hot end on it. I don't know how much I can say. Well, I know I can say because the product exists now, but you've seen the latest hot end system from E3D with the easily interchangeable nozzles on it. Well, they sent me one as a beta tester. So I've had one for quite a few months actually, and I've actually got it on my Prusa Bear. Excuse me. Did a load of tests for them, got it all up and running. Did quite a lot of work, backwards and forwards. I mean, there's a lot of us do it. but it's a fantastic piece of kit. The ability to swap nozzles out so quickly and so effortlessly is just phenomenal. The finished one that you've seen at TCT, they've altered it a bit. Where you can see on the nozzle, they've got like a little heat sock to protect your fingers when you're changing it. Our prototype versions didn't have that. But yeah, it's a fantastic little thing. I don't even know whether I've got a nozzle handy, but the nozzle and the throat are all one piece. And it basically, you just push and twist. It's all you have to do. And it's nozzle and throat into place, just done. It's fantastic. And the heater is so small and compact. It's just really light, really quick. It's just a fantastic bit of kit. Little fan on it. I believe it's a direct swap out for an official E3D nozzle in most machines. If you've got a non-standard E3D nozzle from, if you've got a printer manufacturer that's using copy E3D model hot ends, it might not swap straight out. But if you've got one that runs official ones, it's just a straight swap. And it's a fantastic thing. Fantastic thing. So yeah, that's on the Bear at the moment, which is why I had to hide the Bear the last time I was doing the stream of building the Mini. I had a TV screen in the way of it, which is actually still in the way of it, because it had that hot end sat on it and I wasn't allowed to tell anybody at the time. The Circuit Go, I've been printing some bits and pieces on that, just some quick stuff, because it's being a Core XY, I can print stuff fairly quickly on it. Over this side of the room, I've got the Hornet. The Hornet has been a fantastic little machine. Really quick, quite quiet, not quite as quiet as the X2, but nice little quick machine, go-to machine. Now I've got it sort of dialed in. It's almost as much of a go-to machine as the Prusa used to be. That you want to print something, that's the one you power up and go to. CR30, I've got to admit, I've done very, very little with it yet. Spent several days, not all in one go, but several days trying to get the bed adhesion sorted. You would think, because you're only trying to level across the width of the bed at one point, it would be easy, but it isn't. It's difficult to get going, but it's working now, and now I've got it working. I haven't printed anything on it. Probably waiting for. Well, I've got some printing plate stuff that I use. I print at Christmas, so it's some little ornaments and stuff that I print and we give away to family and friends and stuff. I think when I get a bit nearer Christmas, I might fire it up then and see if we can get these tree ornaments and stuff to print on it, and then we can just fire them out and leave it running. And 2 or 3 days, it can have printed off as many as we need. And apart from checking the filament every now and again, I can just leave it going. But I really should do more with it. But yeah, I haven't got around to it. What else have I got over it? Because I've got the Sidewinder box in the way, which is covering everything up. The only other thing I've got in here at the moment is the original Genius, and that is sat not doing anything either. Just looking for inspiration at the moment, looking for something to get my teeth into, because at the minute, it's just little bits and pieces. I mean, that's actually coming on quite nicely. I think. Oh, and of course the Prusa Mini, which is sat there, which is absolutely my go-to machine at the moment. That is the one I'd chuck everything at. We have the business that I work for. We have it's like a lodge, holiday, cabin, cottage, park, and we have a lot of hot tubs, and twice a week we have to go around to those hot tubs, drain them, clean them, suck all the water out of them, and refill them within a 6-hour period. And we've got 14 that we need to do at the moment. So it does take a bit of doing. So I designed a little. It screws into where the drain is. The drain on most of these hot tubs, it's sort of like a spring-loaded bung. So you have a cap over it, which looks like that. Okay, which has got a little rubber seal around the edge there, which helps to seal it. But where it screws into, there is a spring-loaded bung. So what you do is once you unscrew that, you then have to push the bung in, and then the water comes out. So I've designed, I haven't got one to hand. It's a little adapter that screws into that hole, and it's got like a cross section in the middle of it. So across there, it's got a cross section. So as you screw it in, it pushes the bung back, which allows the water out of this end. But I've adapted this end to the internal measurement to be the right size for our wet vacs. So what we do is once all the water's drained out, we've gone around and we've turned them all off, and we've go around them all, put the bung in, come back to the first one. The majority of the water's already drained out, and then we just put the wet vac in to suck the last bit out, and then into the pipe to suck any residual water that's in the pipe out before we refill it. So we know that there's no dirty water left in the system anyway. So I've been printing those on the little Prusa Mini because it's just a little easy thing to do. And I'm not brilliant at design at all. Dimensions I'm all right. It's things like getting the threads done. And because I only use Tinkercad, because my brain doesn't work well for using any other 3D software. There's too many pulls and pushes and extrusions and stuff. My head doesn't do it. But Tinkercad, I can glue stuff together and hollow it out. But I can't quite get the threads right. It works, but the thread dimensions aren't quite there. So, yeah, I've been doing that. And then I also designed on the motorhome, I found a couple of cup holders, which I've just printed out, and I've altered ever so slightly on Tinkercad. But I've also designed, this is more of a UK and European thing, I think, rather than being worldwide. But I don't know about Americans. They have onboard toilets, and they're generally by a company called Thetford. And they have what they call a toilet cassette. So you have a toilet seat inside, and you have a cassette which is maybe, I don't know, 3 feet long, maybe a foot wide, and maybe a foot deep. And what you do is you slide that from the outside. You have a door that opens. You slide it in, and it slides underneath the toilet seat. Okay, so then when you go to the loo, you open the flap on the toilet seat, and it opens the flap on this cassette, which means everything you do drops into this tank. And then when the tank's full, you slide it out of the side of the vehicle, and you go to what we call the Nelson point, and you empty the contents out, and you clean it out, and you put your chemicals in, and you put it back into your motorhome or caravan. Now, what they have is they have a separate little tank, which is a flush tank. So this is the tank that you press the button inside the toilet in the motorhome, and it throws a bit of water around, which rinses the side of the bowl into the storage tank. But the fill on my motorhome, which is like on an arm, so it's like that, locked away with the door shut, and then when you open the door, it comes out like that, so you can pour water in the top, and then the water goes in the top, and then down the pipe like that, and then into the tank. So it's sort of like in there, along, and then down. Using my arm for that. But the problem with my home is that when you pull the arm out like that, it doesn't clear the side of the motorhome completely. So you only get to see 2/3 of the diameter. So if you say that was the hole that you pour the water in, you can only see that much. So it's difficult to pour your water in using a hose pipe or a watering can or whatever, because you can only see 2/3 of the hole and you sort of spill it. So again, into Tinkercad, I've designed this little thing, which is about the same depth as that to start with, which sits into the spout where you fill. And then I've cut it so it's 3/4 of the width, and then it comes up. So it looks a bit, if you imagine, great with cameras, aren't I, mate? if you imagine it's like that when it extrudes up. So you've got full width at the bottom, and then it goes to 3/4 as it comes up. So it sits beyond the edge of the door. So it comes, you pull it out, this piece goes in, and it brings the spout up higher than the edge of the door. So you can pour it without it going over the sides or missing the hole altogether. In fact, I can actually stick a hose pipe into it and just watch the fill level go up. And when it gets to the top, take the hose pipe out, take this little adapter out, put the cap back on, push the arm back in, put the cap inside. Job done. That's the kind of thing I do. I don't do models. I don't do fantastic bits of construction. I might do the odd spool holes. I like that one dangling up there. But yeah, no, Tinkercad is my god. I could tell you stories about that, Blue Chem. There's why not? We're live. It's Sunday. It's going to get deleted anyway. But there's two schools of thought with those toilets. One is that you keep the trap shut until you've done all your business, and then you flick the switch which opens the trap and it all drops in, and then you rinse it round and then you shut the trap again. Now that's okay, but if you're doing solids, you have a bit more of a cleaning job to do once you've opened the shutter and it drops in, because of course it's all sat on top of the shutter and it's all sat in the bowl. So because there's no water in the bowl, so that you've got more of a cleaning job. Gussie, you don't want to listen to this. The other school of thought is the people that open the shutter and then sit down, and then everything they do goes straight into the hole in the bottom. So it doesn't sit in the bowl at all. It just drops straight through the hole, straight into the holding tank. The problem with that is that if it creates a big enough splash when it hits the chemical in the bottom, that chemical comes up. So you can walk away with a sort of blue spotted bottom. If that makes any sense, because this blue chemical comes up from the bottom of the toilet and all over your ass, which is, it is what it is. But like I say, there's two schools of thoughts. There's those that go and then clear, and there's those that just drop it straight in. And of course, it depends on how much you do, doesn't it? Because those bowls aren't terribly deep. So if you're a one-a-day person that does a pile, I think having the trap open is probably better. If you're one of these women who go a lot but do a little every time, you could probably get away with having it shut. So you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And of course, also if the odor is pungent, it's also probably better to have it drop straight into the tank in the bottom, because then you're not getting the aroma while you're sat looking at your phone or reading the paper or whatever it is you happen to be doing while you're in there. What I tend to do is I tend to put the blue chemical in, and then I'll put some water in the bottom of the tank as well. So if the vent's open and there's something in it, it's covered by the water, so you don't get the smell anyway. But that's just me. Sorry, I'm just seeing if somebody sent me anything rude. No, that's you sending me that backwards picture. Thank you very much for that, Andrew. So yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I'm out of focus. Why am I out of focus? Well, what's going on? You could have told me I was out of focus. Hotel focus. Is that because of my light? Good old Logitech cameras. They do love their focuses, don't they? So there you go. So all you from the States have just woken up to that on a Sunday morning, or Canada. I must apologise. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much where we are. So like I say, we've got the X2 doing its business there. I'm trolling the internet trying to find a 12-volt printer to go in the camper van. And I am having to print this massive great mask for my daughter for Halloween. But that's about it. What's on with you guys? What? Oh, God, it's really out of focus. Why am I suddenly so badly out of focus? You see, I take autofocus off, and it focuses me straight away. That's all right. We'll do it with autofocus off, I think. How's the mini kit video going? A lot of views. Yeah, they're turning over, Gus. Not massively. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I'm losing viewers. I'm losing subscribers hand over fist. Mainly because I've just not put any content out, and what I have put out has been fairly sporadic. But I'm hoping to get, my mojo back up a bit. But now I've got the new shed, which is absolutely full of junk already. But now I've got the new makerspace. I need something to get my teeth into. Like when I did the RC Land Rover, really got my teeth into that. Really enjoyed doing that. That was a good thing to do. Building the Second Go was another thing. Got my teeth into it. Enjoyed the process. Enjoyed, doing stuff with it. I just need something else now to grab me, because at the minute stuff isn't grabbing me. So, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, I like what they've done, but I'm not going to sit and do videos on printing vases all day. I think that's a vase. I'm not going to do reviews on filament because they're boring as hell. There's not a lot of point of me doing reviews on new machines, because although companies, artillery, are still sending them to me, I am so far down the chain before I get a machine sent that they've all been done to death. I mean, it happened with the Hornet, it's happening with the X2. Everybody else has already reviewed it. They've all talked about it. They've all done the live unboxings and the live streams, and there's really no mileage left in it by the time it gets down to the likes of you and I. So I'm trying to find something that works for a lot of people. That is, it's just going to be that little bit different, just going to sort of spark something maybe, which will, get my viewers back up again, get my own interest back up again as well, because that, like I say, that's been waning quite badly. But I've just got to find out what it is. So yeah, I'm sort of, I mean, a plane, something like that, Andrew. I've got to find something. I mean, I suppose I could try doing a plane on the CR30, because I could do the wing like that, couldn't I? If it works. How structurally sound it's going to be printing it at 45 degrees, who knows? But yeah, that could be something. But that's what I need. I need something that's just going to be, I'm going to say cutting edge, but not cutting edge. But you know what I mean? It's a catch-22 situation. I was talking to Kat. I'm sure you all know Kat. She got one of these Focus folding printers, and she did a live stream yesterday, which I happened to catch while I was sat in my motorhome. And bless her, she spends an inordinate amount of time trying to talk to companies to get them to send her machines to review, because there are so few female reviewers, let's say. It seems to be very much a male field, and she's trying to get more females interested by doing reviews. So from a sort of more feminine point of view, and she really does struggle to get companies to send her anything, and it's a real catch-22 situation, because she doesn't get sent anything. She struggles to put out content that people want to watch, which means she doesn't have many subscribers. I think she's got maybe 1,300 or so subscribers. But if you haven't got the content to put out, which people want to watch, they won't subscribe. And if they don't subscribe, the companies won't send you the products. So it really is a massively vicious circle. I'll be honest, for me, it was at one stage, I want to make money out of YouTube. I want this to be an income stream for me, and I want to have 20,000 followers and every 3D printing company throwing stuff at me to do. And you get sort of worked up about it, and you get, we get, going to do this and we're going to do that. And it's always maybe the top 5% that just, for some reason, they just get to a point that, I mean, people watch them and they have those amount of followers. They have 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers. And then they almost get into burnout because they get sent offers of so many machines to do. And then they're constantly striving for content to keep it up there, and it's, I want a focus, that folding thing. I think it's marvelous. I'd love to have a prat about with it. But again, I'm going to have to buy one if I want one. So I buy another 3D printer. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sat doing nothing, and one I'm reviewing. So, from my point of view, yes, I'd love to have a look at the focus, or the focus as we're supposed to call it, and get into it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to get me massive views. It's not going to get me enough income from that video to have paid for the machine that I've bought. And as much as, yes, I've got the machine, what do I do with another machine? I've given away, I've sold a couple. I must admit I have sold a couple, but I've given away probably 9 or 10 printers to, there was a Cub Scouts group, there was a local school, a couple of friends, and just here, have it, because it's just sat gathering dust doing nothing. You can only, you can only use them so often, you can only print so often, you can only, work your way through. I mean, I do not own any G-Tech machines anymore. They've all gone. And the funny thing is, going back to content and what sells, what gets viewers, I did a video on, I think it was adding a bed leveling sensor to an A10M, I think. It could have been the A20. But that has massively, massively outweighed any other video I've ever done. That has got so many hits, so many questions, so much feedback from that one video alone. And I think that was over 2 years ago. But massive, massive, massive. And it's still getting it now. All the links I've put at the bottom are a long time dead. The firmware's been upgraded 3 or 4 times since I did the video. Half the stuff I use in it doesn't exist anymore, but it's still constantly the best performing video I ever did. So it was just such a niche thing that I did at the time, but it's finding that thing. It's finding that one thing that either nobody else has done well or nobody else has thought about doing, that once it's done and the video's up there, everybody goes, brilliant, what a marvelous idea. I'm so glad that video's out there. I mean, I do sometimes get people saying, I get messages from people saying, thank you so much, that was so helpful, that took something that I was really dreading doing and made it so simple and so straightforward. The way you talked me through it, I got it with the Second Go. I mean, that was a lot of video. That was a lot of time. It took an awful lot of time, an awful lot of prattling about to get that machine going. And again, not a mainstream machine, so not many people had it. But the people that did buy it, I would say a good 80 or 90% of them that bought it used my video to help them put it together, as well as all the documentation that they had. They had a video that they could follow along with and look at and look back at. Now, if I'd have done that with a mainstream machine, which sold, I don't know, 20,000 units or 30,000 units, rather than a machine that probably sold 150 units, that video would have gone whoop. But again, you've got to have maybe I've got to have more of a disposable income. If I have more of a disposable income, I could get cutting edge stuff. And if I got cutting edge new stuff that I knew was going to take off, I could then do the build video, and that build video would help. You know, the first person that did a video on building an Ender 3 or something like that, they must have you know, it must have been up there because it was so many people bought them. Sorry, I should be looking at the chat, shouldn't I? Just give me a moment. I'll read the chat. Yeah, well, I've still got my resin one, Andrew. I still use that every now and again. Gus has put a link on. Is that a link to my RC video? When I've got Matt together, I'll start doing vids. We'll have to do some collabs. Absolutely, Andrew. We can do that. You do all the hard work. I'll take all the praise. On Twitter, Matt Riley. On Twitter. What am I on Twitter? Is that not in the... It won't be in the notes, will it? What am I on Twitter? Anybody know what I am on Twitter? Shall I have a look? Jesus. Social media. I am the social media king. I thought I was Matt1UK. I thought. But we'll have a look. Where's my social media thing? There it is. Twitter. You're looking for at Matt1UK 1969. That's what you're looking for. That's me. It is Matt Riley, but it's at Matt1UK 1969. Again, I don't do enough on that. I've been trying to get more into doing that, but again, Twitter is a thing that when we all started first going on it and using it in the 3D printing channels, I was there every day, bing, bang, bong, bong, with all the big guys, you know, swapping stuff, having laughs and jokes. And then life gets in the way again and work gets in the way again. And you start to miss threads. And then you get to the end of threads and it's like, oh, I've missed a whole thing. And there's been a whole thing going on in the community and I've missed it all. And then you get the, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. We're going to print something for him, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's really, really nice that everybody prints something for somebody's birthday and then, you know, everybody sees that it is. But because I'm not active, I see those things and I think, yeah, do you know what? I'll do that. And then I forget about it because I'm not keeping up on Twitter. And then I print it and then I think, oh yeah, when's so-and-so's birthday? So I can show that I printed this thing for their birthday. And their birthday was 2 weeks ago. And I've missed the boat. And then it gets to my birthday and nothing ever turns up. There's no, oh, let's print something for Matthew. Because I'm down here, below the radar a bit. So yeah, Twitter's a bit... I'm antisocial. I'm not antisocial. That's the thing. You tried to stop me speaking. Don't happen. Although I don't like people. I'm in a job where I have to deal with people day in, day out, and don't like people. But then I think anybody who's in customer relations or anything like that hates customers. It's the reason why we have to get up in the morning. So, you know. Most people get big now from printing wearable soaps. Again, it does nothing for me. Thank you very much for everybody who is watching to have hit the thumbs up. That is fantastic. If that happened all the time, that would be brilliant. Again, yeah, wearable suits, if that's their thing, that's brilliant, but it doesn't do anything for me. And I can't really justify doing videos on stuff that I'm not interested in. I've got to be passionate about it to a degree. You know, we've all been down the route of what can we do content on, and somebody sends you something and you do content on it because they've sent it to you. And quite frankly, it's of no interest to you whatsoever. Excuse me, I must stop drinking fizzy pop. But you have to do it. I mean, it's weird. It's like Nerys. I'm sure many of you watch Nerys. I'm sure some of you don't. If you don't watch Nerys, he's quite an individual person, isn't he? Because I likened him the other week. This is another sort of shoot off to the side. I likened him the other week to he's a bit like Billy Connolly. In fact, I'm doing it now. He's a bit like Billy Connolly because what he does is he has a stream which is supposed to be about I've got this printer and we're going to build it and we're going to do a first print on it. And if he just built the printer and did a first print on it, he'd be streaming for maybe an hour. His streams go on for 4 or 5 hours because he goes off on the most weird tangents. And he'll go off on a tangent for over an hour. And then he'll come back and we'll do a bit more on the printer. And it's very much like a Billy Connolly live show, is that he starts a story and then he goes off and tells lots of other little stories off to the side that have you wetting yourself, and then forgets where he's going, forgot what the original story was, and then sort of brings himself back and actually finishes the original story that he'd started. Chris is very much like that. And I love watching Chris. I can't get to watch his live streams all the time live. And I certainly can't watch them all the way through live because I think I'll probably die from hunger. But Chris has this, he's different. He has this little thing, this little niche. He is different. He's not just, here's a 3D printer, let's build it. Ta-da. He's not, I've built the biggest print of this in the world. Doesn't go down those lines. He doesn't go down he's an incredibly intelligent bloke. Clearly, his brain is fantastic. But he interests me. I find him interesting, and I find watching him interesting because it's not just, here's a 3D printer, we've put it together, it prints okay, but I'm going to slate the company because I can, because I'm in a position of power. That's not Chris. I mean, I think he's got 30,000 subs, 20,000 subs, something like that. I don't know. But he's not got a massive amount, but he makes his living out of it as much as he possibly can. Out of that, and he's reviewing stuff that he does for the thing that we cannot mention. He calls it Vince, which is funny because there's a channel in the UK called My Mate Vince, and he repairs broken second-hand electrical stuff. So when Chris talks about Vince, I keep thinking about My Mate Vince, but that's an English thing. Yeah, I'm talking rubbish again. Afternoon, Derek. In fact, it's 1:30, mate. Have you got sorted out, Derek? Have you got that there thing printing? You see, it's all the same people, Andrew. We'll gravitate to the same sort of stuff because you'll probably watch Big Clive as well. I was raving last night. Is that in a bad way, Derek? Was that as in raving mad? Or were you actually in your room doing your thing? See, that's my rave dancing. That's as far as it goes with me. You've met Big Clive. Fantastic. Oh, you lucky man. Fancy meeting Big Clive. I guess it was one of his meetups up in Edinburgh or something, I'm guessing. I don't know whether you saw Andy the other week. I've forgotten his name. German guy. God, what's he called? Wow, my brain's gone. German, into 3D printing, glasses, blonde hair. God, what's he called? Oh, that's so embarrassing. Does a lot of work with CNC Kitchen. Thomas Sandlin, and yeah, he watches Big Clive, and Big Clive was doing a live stream, and Thomas popped up because they started talking about 3D printers because Clive's, I think, has got a couple of 3D printers, and Thomas popped up and went, "If you want any more 3D printers, I've got loads. I'll happily send them to you." And it was like, oh my God, Thomas watches Big Clive, which is like, I think is phenomenal because Big Clive is very funny and very clever. Very funny. I mean, again, he's another one, isn't he? he goes from one extreme to the other. We've got him distilling and drinking whiskies, redistilling them. We've got him soda streaming everything he can find. We've got that dolly that had the vaginal thing come out of it, flamethrower. And then he strips down stuff that he buys off eBay and does schematics and goes into detail about them and just goes into some real depth on stuff. And it's just two completely different things, but works really well. Do like Big Climb. See, I've worked out what it is. I've got the stupid side doing the daft stuff, but I haven't got the technical knowledge. So without the technical knowledge, that's why I'm not the whole package. I'm just half the package. That's why I'll have to do some work with you, Andrew. You can do the technical stuff. I'll do the being an idiot. Yeah, I mean, he eats all the MREs and stuff like that, doesn't he? But yeah, no, Clive is hilarious. I've just got to... Oh, God, do I want to see this? Right, yeah, you were raving, weren't you, Derek? If you're not careful, I'll put that up there and let everybody see you raving. I'm not sure your neighbours must love you. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going then. I've completely lost my train of thought. That thing of Derek doing his raving has just blown my mind somewhat. So, yeah. Still 5 people watching. I'm amazed. 5 people listening to me talk utter rubbish on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday morning, depending on where you are. So, yeah, basically what I'm saying to you is, guys, I need your help. I need your help to find a 3D printer which is either got a it's got to be 12 volt. It's got to be small. If it can be a cantilever design like Prusa Mini or something, it doesn't want to be any bigger than that in its sort of foot form thing, form factor, footprint. That's what I was looking for. That I can plug straight into 12 volts, so I can plug it into the motorhome and do printing in there, because I think that would be quite a good little bit of content. In fact, it would be quite nice if we could have one of these chats with me in the motorhome with the little printing going in the background, you know, just something a bit different. And then the other thing I need one of you 5, or anybody that happens to watch this before I switch it off, to come up with a fantastic piece of content for me that I'm going to be interested in. It's going to make me a shitload of money. I mean, sorry, that everybody's going to be interested in it, and I'm going to be able to help the community. I'm terrible, and I'm not even drinking. Well, I am. I'm drinking Pepsi Max Raspberry, but I wanted to do something on the new E3D nozzle. But again, because you're a beta tester, you're absolutely sworn to secrecy all the time through the beta test. You have to sign agreements and all sorts. In fact, I don't know even now if I'm breaking the agreement by telling you that I was a beta tester for it. Probably am. I was dying to put something out on that, and I thought the minute they release it, I'll see what I'm allowed to put out. But of course, again, the problem there is that they have other people who are doing it as well, who are better than me, we will say, who are already talking to them before the release date and saying, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that. They agree what they can do. They have the video already filmed. So on the day that TCT happened and it was released, there were videos out there about it. So again, off we go. Missed the boat. And once, like I say, with reviews and new stuff to the market, if you're not the first, then only the big boys get any watching afterwards, if you know what I mean. If you're somebody like, let's pull somebody out of thin air. Chris Riley, let's say. We'll pull Chris Riley out of thin air. If Chris Riley was to get this Artillery Z3, well, X2, whatever. X2, isn't it? Z3, that's a BMW. If he was to get this machine sent this week, and he was to do a video about it, and I was to do a video at the same time with exactly the same content, because he's got a better name for himself, his would get loads of people look at it. And because of the way YouTube works, he would get loads of people look at it. I think this is actually printing the butt plug. I've just realised. We might need to look at this in a moment. Yeah, he gets loads of people looking at it, and I would get next to no views at all. Exactly the same content. I would guarantee you, if we were word for word, shot for shot, the same thing, because he's up there and I'm down there, he'd get loads of views, he'd get income from it, he'd get offered other machines because of it. Anybody that's down here, it doesn't have to be me, could be Derek, could be Andy, could be Gus, could be any of us. We do exactly the same quality of video with exactly the same information, with the exactly the same stuff, but just it doesn't explode, because there's people up there that everybody knows that are doing the same thing, and they get all the views, they get all the airtime, they get all the stuff. So it's a bit of a problem. We need to come up with something new. I am getting worried about this. Do you actually think they have put a butt plug on the X2? Because this is, I'm gonna have to show you. And if you don't know what a butt plug is, great, Derek, ask your mum. Can you see that? What is actually going on there? Anybody got a clue? The thing is, it's got like a... Oh, it's finished. Ooh, that was good timing. It's got like a hexagonal hole in the middle of it. Is that for the stuff to leak out? Sounded like Norris then, didn't it? Should we get that off there and have a look at it? I've got to change the colour of the light though, because I'm on tanned light and I have to be on white light, won't I? So I'll bring the brightness up. We'll change it to a... Andrew, behave. Goodness sake, man. All right, we'll see if we can get it off the heat bed while it's still hot. No, we can't. We're going to leave it. Going to leave it to cool. We're going to pick the bloody heat bed up by it. That's really weird. I'll bring the camera back over when I have another look. So this was on the USB flash drive. There was the cube and there was this. Okay, now the lighting is terribly wrong on this, because this is actually done in Prussian Galactic Black. So I know it's showing a silver. So if we try dimming the lights a lot. Let's try even turning them off. That's too dark, isn't it? You can't see a damn thing, Matthew. No, I've done that once, Andrew. I've had one piece of glass already. So yeah, this is... So it's sort of that... No, sort of that shape, isn't it? You know? And then it comes up to the top. And like I say, on the top, it's perfectly sort of hexagonal. And I'm thinking, is it some sort of handle that you maybe slide a screwdriver in? Because that's like a shape of some screwdrivers, isn't it? And it gives you sort of more twist. But it's hollow. It's got a very strange infill. I showed Andrew a photograph of it when I started printing one the other day. It's got an infill that almost looks like chicken wire. It's really thin and really looks like chicken wire, but it's and it's meant to be. It's not done by mistake. It is actually what it is. A 40mm hex angle. I tell you what, mate, if you need a 40mm Allen key, the force you would need to turn it, that will powder. Because it's nigh on hollow. But how weird. Oh, she's up. And I haven't taken any glass off. So this is what we're looking at. Now, look at that seam. You see, this gets worse, doesn't it? It's got a ridge up the back, like a real defined ridge. Whether you can actually see that. You see how much that sort of drops in. So it's shaped like a butt plug, and it's got a ridge up its back. Yeah, do you know, I am beginning to worry. But it's solid bottomed. It's got they've printed a bit of a foot on it just to get it to start printing. But it's solid bottomed. Like I said, it's got this really defined ridge in the back where it's done the start and end of all the printing. So I might have to email them and ask them what on earth it's supposed to be. I should email Lena in the morning and say, Lena, there's something on the card. Can you explain to me what it is and how I use it? We'll see what she says. But it's printed particularly well. Let me put the main light on. We're going to get flicker. I'm sorry, but we are going to get flicker. Oh, God, that's bright. You see, I told you we'd get flicker because of the bloody lights. I know there is a way of doing it by changing the frequency of the video camera, but right. We're going to try and get a picture of the. Oh, I haven't got autofocus on, have I? You muppet. Right, autofocus on. Let's see if we can't. See, it's printed really nicely. It's a good print. It's got to be said. But you never trust a print that's been pre-sliced, do you? Because you know full well what they do. You see, there's the seam, but it's really, really pronounced. But yeah, no, it's come out really nicely. It's got to be said. There's no clear signs of problems with cooling on it. No signs of ringing that I can see. There is just a slight failure. Well, not a failure, but not quite a decent. You can't see that. It's not going to show you. Oh, yes, you can. You can just see it there. Look, just up there. There's a little bit where it's under extruded slightly, or it hasn't quite done what it's supposed to do. But apart from that, it's printed very well. Like I say, it's hollow almost all the way to the bottom. You see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, is it, something in there, and then you've got a good amount of purchase like that. If it was to push a screwdriver into, but it's not solid. See, it's quite hollow. How do I test if something solid? You bang it against your head, Matthew. So it's not a solid infill pattern at all. It's very light. But yeah, no, it's come out pretty well. It's got to be said. I cannot argue with that. I am not going to print the test tube because that would be ridiculous. What I'll probably do now is print something of Wexter's because I've got most of Wexter's back catalogue. I haven't got any of his new stuff because I haven't sent him any money recently. I don't do the Patreon stuff with Wexter. What I tend to do with Wexter is when I've got some money, I'll just PayPal him, 20 quid or something when I have some money because I appreciate the work he does. And generally when I do that, he'll send me a message back going, oh, here's a link to all the updated files. Thanks very much. Do appreciate it. And that's how me and him sort of work. We don't do this. I paid £2 every month or £5 every month to keep up to date with stuff. When I can afford it, he gets it. When I can't afford it, he doesn't. And that just works for us. So, yeah, I haven't really got a lot else to say, guys. I'm sorry. Got 6 people watching and only 5 likes. Press the like button, will you? Sorry. I've really got to apologise. The worst thing is, with this makeup light thing, is that now when I close my eyes, I get these white rings. It's like, it's the voice of the Mr. Runs. Reference. Anybody get that? So I've got 6 people watching and 7 likes now. Okay, so that means somebody's liked and left, and somebody else has taken the place. Okay, that was cool. It's 7 and 6. I've definitely got 7 and 6. I've got 8. I can only see 7. Maybe I'm slow at catching up. Anyway, I do appreciate it, guys. I really do. Like I say, it's lovely that there's 6 of you actually tuned in. It really is, because I've not put this anywhere. I haven't put it on Twitter. I haven't put it on Facebook. I haven't messaged anybody. I just happened to be in here. The wife and daughter had gone out to some tea or something, and I thought, do you know what? I have not turned this thing on in ages, and I thought I will just do it. So I just haven't done it. I need to do this again. Andrew does these amazing light boxes. He's done me an amazing light box. I'm sure if you were to cross his palm with enough silver, he would do a light box for you. These are there. I've got it on the shortest lead I've ever seen in my life, which is just down to me. You get a little box for the controller in there. It's remote control, so you can change the color. You can also do it with an app to change the color, and whether it stays a single color or whether it cycles through. It's printed. You've got clear PLA for that part, which is then diffused. And then you get your logo, which goes on the top. So you have to do a color change, but you can do that. We all know how to do color changes, don't we? And it's just a nice little box, and it's got the 2 screw bits on the back, so you can just put 2 screws in your wall and hang it up. Derek, you need one of these. Derek, you need one of these. You really do. Okay? You need one. You definitely need one of these, Derek. You need to get hold of Andrew and say, Andrew, make me one of these. Have some money, because that would look really good on your wall, Derek. That'd look really good on your wall. And anybody else who's got a few quid to spare and would like to support somebody actually making something, unlike me, who just makes a noise. I will look at that, Gus. It's not the one I've already done, is it? You see? And now somebody else turns up. I'm about to go. And bless him, Rushmere 3D, going back to talking about stuff that that engaged with people when I printed the RC Land Rover. And it's still got the stickers on the side. It's still got Rushmere 3D on the side. I ran out of the Prussian I was using, and he just turned around and went, do you know what, Matt? There you go. I'll send you a roll. So I said, send me some stickers. We'll get them stuck on the side. We'll let's push the company. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't work. It's fine, fella. Like I say, I didn't push it anywhere. I just started talking. I just flicked a switch and started talking. So don't worry that you've missed me. Show you raving. I wish I could actually get it, because I'm not using Streamlabs or anything. I've got no real way of pushing it to the computer. So what I'll have to do is do... Oh, I'll have to turn ring light off, Anna. Ring light off. We'll get Derek on like this. Right, is everybody ready? Yeah, it could have been Filamentum, actually. Yeah, you're right. Are you ready, everybody? Derek raving. That's Derek knocking it out of the park last night. And I thought I was mad. Clearly, there are people out there with more troubles than I have. Oh, God, I've just gone blind. Yeah, it will have been Filamentum. You're absolutely right. But again, that was good. That worked well, because it was something new to the market, and me having printed it got other people interested in it, and it also helped people that were printing it put it together. So that was a good little series, was that little RC thing. So yeah, I need something new. Somebody needs to hear of something that's going to be the next big thing, and not do anything about it themselves and just let me take all the glory. That would be ideal. I need some passion. I need pushing. I really do. I need pushing. I even got to the stage, of, it was a while ago. I can't think what it was. I got sent something. I can't even remember what bloody printer it was. I tell you what it was. It was the Ender 5 that I got as a return for 90 quid, which is the one that the motherboard's just gone on. If anybody's got any links or can find me anything to an Ender 5 Pro motherboard cheap, brilliant, because I quite like to get that money. But I digress. What I was thinking was I was at such a stage when I got that, and I thought, yes, brilliant. This is a really good video, and this is going to get loads of likes and loads of shares and stuff, because it's something that's important. Is buying a returned Creality printer through Amazon a good idea or not? And I actually then thought, it also, would I get more hits and more people watching if I was to just run over it with a Land Rover? Not even build it, just put the box on the ground and drive over the top of it. And I tell you something, I probably would have got more views, more likes, more hits from actually just doing that, taking it off the delivery driver, putting it on the floor and driving my Land Rover forwards and backwards over the box than I actually got from taking all the time producing the video and explaining to people that 99 times out of 100, getting a returned machine from Amazon is a good idea. Which it is. There was nothing wrong with it. The build surface was marked because he hadn't leveled the bed before he started to print with it. And that was it. And it was, I don't know what Ender 5 Pros were at that stage. There must have been 300, 400 quid. And it was 90 quid delivered. So it was brilliant. And I thought, this is going to be the video. This is, the amount of people that are going to search eBay, search YouTube going, is it worth buying? Is it a good idea? And they're going to find my video and they're going to go, yes. And I'm going to get likes and subscribers. And it was just, it fell on its ass. It really did. And I don't know whether it's the way I do it. Do I not do it the best of ways? Am I not engaging enough? But it just fell flat on its ass. In fact, I'll tell you how it fell, how ass flat it fell. I'm going to go and have a look. You see, my views are pathetic, quite frankly. The Artillery Hornet video that I did has had 2.2 thousand views. I did a review on the power banky thing, which I'm still using. I've got to say, nothing to do with 3D printing, but I still use that, and I still use that a lot. That got 2.3 thousand views. Buying a returns Amazon Ender 5 Pro worth the risk, which in fairness was a stream. 1.2 thousand views. I thought that was going to be 4,000 or 5,000 views easily. The Second Go build they got sort of 2,500 views each for all three parts. My 3D sets video, the actual build video, got 3,500 views. But you see, that's because lots of people started building the 3D set stuff. And because of that, they used my video to sort of, pick up on it. Hemera 1.6, when I unboxed that. The Genius Live unboxing 1.7. The original Artillery Sidewinder SWX1 review, which was 2 years ago, it's got 15,000 views. Now that's good, I think. I think 15,000 views for a video is good. But I bet I won't get that when I review the X2. I bet I'll be lucky if I get 1,000 when I review the X2. You see, the old G-Tech ones, G-Tech A10 review, 2.4K. Peter Scoos, he did a lighting mod for the Prusa i3 Mark III. I got 3,000 views on that. G-Tech ones, 2,000 views. Ender 3 mods. I did an Ender 3 mod USB ASP bootloader flash, which was 3 years ago, got 11,000 views. The G-Tech A30 Easy Guide to Auto Bed Leveling, that got me 11,000 views. So you see, I've had some videos that have actually done quite well. Some. There's one there. 4 hours of guff and nonsense. Streamed 3 years ago. 91 views. That's going to be like today, isn't it? I did one about firmware GPL non-compliance when that was a big thing 3 years ago. 315 views. Then I did a follow-up when Creality actually released the firmware, praising Creality and Naomi Wu for what they'd done. 122 views. Just Prusa Mark III, printing a Groot, and then I did the Olsen Ruby nozzle and some filamentum stuff. I did all three together. It was only on for 14 minutes, 19,000 views. So which bit of that was it? Was it the Prusa bit? Was it the Olsen Ruby nozzle bit? Was it the Groot bit? Who knows? You see, the Prusa ones at a stage were doing quite well. Uploading the firmware and looking what was different. That was 4.4 thousand views. See, there's things in here I've not looked at for years. Me having a rant walking around Scotland there. CR10 Dual Z upgrade video. I got 15,000 views. But that was in the days when it was important. And then right at the very end, there's me starting my old Land Rover and my daughter 15 years ago running in and out the sea, which I'm not taking off. That is staying on forever, is that? Because that's hilarious. It makes me laugh every time I watch it. So yeah, you can see. You know, it's the strangest things that seem to do well. But it's niche stuff. It's stuff that you get early. You do something that other people can't do, and they follow your video. If you want to be a content creator, you have to invest a lot of time and a lot of money. A massive amount of money. Absolutely true. Red light in the room. Oh my God, I didn't even see you were in. Dude. Long time. So nice of you to begin here. Have you hit the thumbs up button? You better have hit the thumbs up button. You all better have done. Wow, red light in the room. Wow, that takes me back a long way. A long way to see red light in the room. Did I see somebody else pop in there earlier as well? Yeah, at the light speed, Stephen. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Stephen. Stephen. See, Stephen started doing videos again now. His rat rid builds and one thing or another, and I do watch them and I do my thumbsies ups on them. But I'm sure Stephen gets it's so flaming difficult because even with something like the rat rig, it's been done to death. And the minute somebody with a good following does the video, everybody else's video just people stop looking at it. The minute somebody with more followers, more subscribers does something exactly the same as you, it's gone. You know, anything that any income, well, not income, income's not the right thing, but any traffic that you got for that video will just disappear. Absolutely overnight. The minute somebody else with 20,000 subscribers does, like I say, can do exactly the same video, exactly the same standard, saying exactly the same things, but your views will drop through the floor like a stone. And that's the nature of the beast. That is the nature of YouTube. So yeah, you sometimes just wonder why you bother. Well, I bother because I enjoy it. Oh, well, I don't enjoy it. I enjoy this. I enjoy the rant. I enjoy talking to you guys. If I could make money out of doing this. And I'm not even drinking today. Derek, you need to put that stream you did back up. I put a link to it in one of the Facebook groups, and I've had about 9 people message me and saying, "Oh, it's not available. It's not available. I wanted to watch it. It's not available. No, can't see it." So put it back up. You'll never get views if you make it private. It don't matter whether you look a muppet. It don't matter if you don't actually do anything. How often do I do anything? You just leave it up, let people see it. You never know. I know I delete quite a lot of my live stuff, but I'll delete a lot of my live stuff because I either drink too much and talk about stuff I shouldn't talk about, or I talk about stuff that maybe some of the people don't like. It's not talking out of turn, but it's like we're having a conversation in a pub. If you're having a conversation in a pub, you don't expect somebody to record it and play it back to you 4 weeks later and say, "Well, you said this." It's idle chit chat, and idle chit chat, comes and goes. And I don't think it should be preserved because it is a spur of the moment thing. But if something like your stream that you did then, that you were trying to get that BL Touch sorted out, even though it wasn't successful and you went away and you've done some stuff on it, still what you did and the path you took and the mistakes that are there and the firmware not being right or whatever, could be important to somebody else. Not only that, it could be important to you, because if you leave that up and somebody watches it and goes, "Do you know what? I know exactly what he's done wrong there," he can leave a comment in the video and say, "Derek, this is what you haven't done, mate. You just need to do this and it'll all work fine." And it solved your problem. So as much as you do think to yourself, "Well, that was an utter waste of time. I'll make it private or I'll delete it because I didn't really want it to go up there for any particular reason." Don't leave it up. It'll make, as daft as it sounds, that could make a difference to somebody. Brilliant. It's important, mate. Honestly, that could make a difference to somebody. Somebody could be struggling with the same thing you are, and they could watch your video, and then they could go away and watch somebody else's and suss it and come back and go, "Here's a link to this. This worked. Enjoy." So it's worth leaving them up, even if they are. Take it down in 6 months' time when everybody's done it. But at the moment, while there's still a lot of people doing it, it's worth leaving it on. You see? See? Well, I don't know what I'm doing that for. What's that all about? What was I talking about? Oh, hang on. I'm going to read the chat a bit because I'm sure I'm missing a shitload of stuff on it. Right, that's it. I'm definitely taking it off because I've just done that sweary thing that I'm not supposed to do. Watch the RC video. It's really nice print. I will watch that RC video, Gus. I promise you. I still think it's funny that people call Thomas Gus, because I called him Gus. It's my pet name for you, isn't it? Red light in the room. Flaming amazing. Have red light here. Honest printer reviews, unboxings are dead now. It's all about building printers or projects, in my honest opinion. Yeah, well, I was watching your videos on your build as well. And yeah, you're very probably right. The thing with printers is there's nothing new. There really isn't anything new. CR30 was something that was a bit different. But again, I got annoyed with that, and I shouldn't have done. But I got annoyed with that because although I was one of the first 1,000 to order the machine, I was probably one of the last 1,000 to get it. So everybody else had got one. Everybody else had done a video on the unboxing of it and the building of it and the leveling of it. And by the time it got to mine turning up, it had been done to death. Now, if I'd been one of the first 250 people out the gate to have had that machine delivered, I could have done exactly the same video as I did, and I would have had massive amounts of hits, massive amounts of questions. I could have done follow-up videos explaining stuff. You've got to be first out the gate, and to be first out the gate, you've got to have that. or you've got to be up there. I was meant to get a YouTube plaque back when they went off views. I've got 2 vids with 16,000+ views. Well, that's brilliant, Andrew. But they always change the bloody the thresholds, don't they? And it's always just as you're getting to them. I always used to say that about car insurance. It was when you got insured for your car at 17. Oh, when you get to 21, your price of insurance will drop through the floor. So I get to be 21, and they change it and they make it, I don't know, 25 or 30. Oh no, when you get to 30, price of your car insurance will fall through the floor. And you get to 30, and they've moved the gate, they've moved goalposts again, and it's now 40 when it drops. And you seem to be forever chasing it. Dragon Hot End videos at 22,000 views and still gets views and comments because it's a hot topic still. Absolutely. That's it. It's the thing. But it was a very early video as well. I remember you were one of the first to do a video that in depth on that hot end. And because of that, and the way you did it, and also your keywords and all those stupid things that you have to do with a title and the things you have to push. I mean, I'm sure you've all got TubeBuddy. I got a lifetime membership when it first came out, and it was dirt cheap. And that was thanks to Country 3D. He got that sorted out for me. He gave me a link which got me it really cheap. But yeah, that tells you how to put your what to put in your comment and what to do to build it up, and it gives you a standing of how good the video is going to be when it goes out, and how it's going to be received. But I understand that's now owned by YouTube, and it was independent when it first came out, and I've got a feeling YouTube have bought it out. And because YouTube have bought it out, I don't trust it anymore, because I think it's just it's them cooking the books again. But that's by the by. To be content creator, you must invest a lot of time and a lot of money. Absolutely. Couldn't be more true. I used to enjoy it until I got death threats. Right. Okay, Andrew, I can see that being an issue. I'm guessing that was somebody that didn't agree with what you were saying. It's never good. I had something a few weeks ago. I'd ordered something from a company, not physical. It was software, firmware, that kind of thing, which I'd paid for using PayPal. And 4 months later, I got a message from them saying that payment hasn't gone through. There was a mistake, and we want the 50 quid again. And I was away at the time, and I said, right, when I get back, I'll sit down and I'll go back through all my PayPal documents, and I'll find out what it is. And if it hasn't gone through and I owe you the 50 quid, I'll send you the 50 quid. I ain't got a problem. But you've got to understand that I need to check first. And it was like, well, if you haven't done it within the next 48 hours, we're cancelling your account and you won't have access to the software. And I went, I'm not sending you another 50 quid until I'm sure that you haven't had the first 50, because I'm not throwing 50 quid away for now. But rest assured, if I haven't paid it, if it hasn't come out, I'll pay it. It's fine. I quite like the piece of software. It's quite useful. No, it's not good enough. You've got to. And I went, well, I don't get home till Wednesday, so I can't sit in front of my computer and go through all my stuff. I'm not going through it all on my phone because it's not possible. I've got to have both screens up, and I can do everything on the screens. And no, it's not good enough. We're going to cancel your account. Now, there was I don't know whether it was a reseller or a broker or something for them who was my point of contact, and then there was the main company. So the main company just sent me an email saying, you failed to comply with the terms and conditions of the use of this software. Your account has been cancelled. You'll no longer be able to log in. You'll now be able to use the software. And I thought, fine, fair enough. You're not willing to wait. Fine. And then the guy who I'd dealt with to actually buy the software, or buy the whatever it was, the firmware-y, stuffy, whatever it was, then starts appearing all over my Facebook, all over my YouTube, all over Twitter, bad mouthing me. He's a thief. He steals stuff. He doesn't pay for stuff. We're going to take him to court. We're going to open up a PayPal thing against him. And I'd already said to them, I said, if you're 100% certain I've paid this PayPal thing and I haven't paid this PayPal thing, well, you then, because they said, we're going to go to PayPal and we're going to open a dispute. I went, fine. That saves me going and looking for it. You go and open the dispute. And if PayPal find in your favor and find that I haven't paid and you have got I have got the software from you, well, then they'll take the money out and give it to you. That's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. Open a dispute up. Oh, well, never did. Still haven't. This is 3 or 4 weeks later, maybe even a month later. But this guy that was working for him was just chucking stuff at me. All of my YouTube videos, about 15 YouTube videos, had comments on from him. Oh, he thought he could hide from us. He's a bad person. So just blocked him on everything. And just, so even something as daft as that was annoying. So I can imagine getting death threats is even bloody worse, mate. I was ranting again, wasn't I? From the stream, I never have money to actually buy anything, yet I get offered loads of stuff. They sent me a letter to my old flat and YouTube did nothing to stop it, so I removed a load of videos and stopped making content. Yeah, it's not good, Andrew. It really isn't. I mean, you do kind of put yourself out there. Because you want to think people that watch your videos and people that tune into your content are there because they enjoy what you do. And I think some people, the trolls of this world, as some people call them, are just out there to be horrible. And I hadn't remembered, but I'd actually got an address on my YouTube channel that if somebody wanted to send me something, they could send it to my address. Because quite frankly, I don't care if people know where I live. If they're watching my content and they enjoy what I do, why shouldn't I have an address where they can get hold of me? So if I've had bits and pieces sent, little thank yous, daft things like little boxes with bars of chocolate in and stuff like that. And then I've also had, I've had all sorts of weird stuff sent. Not weird, but I had some spare hot ends and I thought I'd send them to you because I know you like 3D printing and I saw your videos and da. So I've had stuff sent. And then I suddenly thought, there's this nutter out there who's gobbing off saying I'm a thief and untrustworthy. And my actual address is written on my contact details on YouTube because there's no way I can afford a PO box. So I had to delete that. And up until that moment, it had not crossed my mind that it could be used against me because it was care of. It didn't actually say this is my address. It was written down as a care of address. So if people saw it, they might think, oh well, it's somewhere where he can pick it up from, rather than actual where he lived. But it was where I lived at the time. So yeah, you have to be bloody careful. You have to remember, not everybody is as nice as you are. Is the size of it. And some people are bloody nasty and some people are awful. And you can do the smallest thing and wind people up to absolute distraction, which you don't ever intend on doing. Half the time you don't even realise you've done it. So yeah, there we are. So I've just wasted an hour and 35 minutes talking about absolutely nothing. Anything else anybody wants to talk about while I'm still here? I could have done that, couldn't I? Oh, I see. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at what I can actually do with this bit of software, which is very exciting. Walking on eggshells while carrying all the weight on your shoulder. Yeah, and it ain't worth the hassle, mate. I mean, again, it's that thing of if you've got 30,000 followers, you can afford a PO box. So nobody needs to know where you live, My cam's gone off. Oh no. Hang on, I shall come back. There you go. Here I am again. Right. So nobody's got nothing else to say. Nobody's interested in listening to me waffle anymore. I massively appreciate you guys. All, I'm guessing at least 9 of you, because there's 9 thumbs up. So I massively appreciate all 9 of you. On an absolute whim, because that's how it was, popping in and saying hello. Derek, Andrew, Lightspeed, Andrew, Rushmere 3D. Do you know, I still wish that would have worked out for you, mate. I really do. Yeah, quite sad was that. But we won't dwell on the past, will we? Ever onward and upward, mate. Yeah, everybody. Gus, my mate Gus. Thomas, thank you very much for being in here. Photo Memento. Really nice of you to bob in. Everybody who's taken, even if you've only been in here a minute and gone, oh, he's waffling and left again. It's still really nice. Real pleasure. Thank you so much. Everybody take care and keep your eyes open, because I will attempt to do something at some point. Like I say, you've got me on Twitter, Matt1UK1969. I will put a post out on Twitter in the next sort of quarter of an hour ago, asking for suggestions for a printer for the camper van, a 12-volt printer that we can have some fun with. And you can always contact me. You can always private message me on Twitter should you wish to talk about anything, be it good, bad, ugly, any thoughts you've got, any collaborations you want to do. Whether you'd like to do this more often, whether you'd like to go back to having a Sunday chat, which we used to do. As Derek will well know, we used to have sort of 5 or 6 of us that used to just meet up and sit and chat and chew the cud backwards and forwards. Sometimes we'd pull it live. Sometimes we'd just do it for ourselves. But yeah, just let me know. Like I say, I'm always approachable. I might not get back to you straight away because of work and, having to put that first. But I appreciate each and every one of you and everything you do. And I know those of you that create content, I know how hard it is. I know how demoralizing it can be. And the fact that you're still doing it is testament to your, stupidness, really. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, should it be a small part of the afternoon that's left or majority of the day. Just enjoy it, and I'll speak to you all really soon. Cheers. See you later.